I hope yesterday's video is helpful. Today I want to show you two more examples regarding this formula, arc length formula. And also I want to show you one common mistake when we use the calculator to solve the problem. So let's check the first one. The first one says find the measure of the central angle of an arc if its length is 14 pi and radius is 18. So sometimes you underline the key information here. It's helpful, but let's draw the example. Let's draw the picture to match the information. So we know it's circle, and the measure of the central angle we need to find, so which we don't know, but we do know the arc length, which is 14 pi. Arc length, let's say this piece is 14 pi. And also we know the radius, let's say the radius is 18. So this piece is 14 pi. But we do need to know the measure of the central angle, meaning a central angle is one thing we don't know. So let's put an X here. So as I mentioned yesterday, we do have two methods, two formulas to choose. However, whenever we need to find the radius or central angle, like the missing pieces, when we use formula, I do feel like the second method is much easier. So let's use this one. The arc measure, which is always same as central angle, but in this case we don't know. So we put X over 360 equals, the right side of the formula says arc length, we already know that, 14 pi over 2 pi r, which is the circumference. R here is 18. Again, if you double check the structure of this formula, meaning the central angle compared to the whole circle, this ratio same as the piece of the arc, the distance of this, the length of that, compared to the whole circumference. As you say, 2 pi r is circumference. So now let's check. Before we do that, it's always a good idea to simplify. Since we both have pi here, let's cancel. And then let's rewrite it. Top we have 14, the bottom one is 2 times 18. Now you can just write down as 36, 2 times 18, 36. Again, ratios, proportion equation here, we can always use cross multiplication. So left side is 36 times x. Remember, you are not having fractions anymore. You do have two sides of equation. 360 times 14. You can just leave it here. You don't need to multiply. You want to solve x, we need to divide by 36 because 36 times x, we use inverse operation. We do exactly the same thing for the other side. Cancel it. So x is going to be 140. Let's use a calculator to double check again. So is 360 times 14 divided by 36, which is 140. So it's 140, since the central angle is 140 degree, and that's it. So this is going to be our answer. The central angle is 140 degree. So let's check the second example. Second example, the information based on information we have here, we have central angle, which is 260 degree, and we have a whole arc length, which is 38.95 centimeter. In this case, we don't know the radius. So the radius is one we need to find. Again, as I mentioned, when you find this one, I do feel like the second one is easy to use. So let's plug in the value we know. So this case, we know arc measure, again, same as central angle. We know that is 260 divided by 360 over, not over, equals arc length. We know arc length, which is 38.95 over 2 pi, and r we don't know, so we're going to keep it as a variable here. Again, the proportion we can always be solved by using cross multiplication. So let's do this together. 260 times 2 pi r equals 360 times 38.95. Okay, so here it's saying some student might want, can I times 260 times 2? Yes, you can. We can also just keep it, and let's think about this. The left side, even you see pi here, remember this is just symbol for that your rational number. They do have a number here, but do not use 3.14. Do not use that number because sometimes we think to round it, that might be the case, you get wrong answer. So in order to solve r, we need to do inverse operation, right? So since everything here is times r, so we are going to divide by the whole thing. Divided by the whole thing. We do exactly the same thing. So this is cancelled. So now we can just put in the calculator. But before we put the calculator, one thing I want to remind you is some students want to do that. Let me show you. That's clear what we had before. So some student hold 360 times 38.95 divided by 260 and times 2 pi. So once you do that, this answer says, oh, this is going to be this. But there's one thing I want to remind you. Once you put this one, calculator do this operation. They do multiply first, then divide by 260. But once you start times 2 pi, they're going to, so basically the calculation will do multiplication first. If you do that, then divide by 260, they will finish this one first, then whatever the answer you hear, they will times 2 pi. So that's why this is totally wrong way to put in the calculator. How do we do it in the right way? All you need to do, since I need to divide the whole thing here, you need to put the parentheses around the bottom one. So let's do that again. So 360 times 38.95 divided by, since I need to divide the whole thing, I'm going to put the parentheses 260 times 2. Again, do not use 3.14 unless you're told so. It's always safe to use pi. Close parentheses. In this calculator, then the calculator know, oh, I need to time the bottom, then divide by the, times the top, then divide by the bottom. So that's it. This is like a long way. And if the question asking us to nearest hundreds, we know it's going to be 2 decimal here. And the third number is 3, less than 5, so we are not going to keep it. Then the answer is 8.58. So same as this, is going to be centimeter. Again, one thing I want to remind you, when you put a calculator, please pay special attention what is the bottom part. You do have multiple terms, times or adding together, you always want to put a parenthesis around this. Also, if you want to do that, you want to find the top answer here, and then find the bottom answer, then you divide, that's also fine, and you will get exactly the same answer. I can even show you here. So if I do top 360 times 38.95, okay, I do the mistake here. So 0.95, so that's top one. And then the bottom one is 260 times, again, do not use 3.14, so always use this. And then we have this two number, you can use arrow here to get this number, then divide by this number, and you will get, see, this is the top value, this is the bottom value. We divide it, you will get exactly the same thing, right? So really doesn't matter which one you use, but please make sure when you tap the calculator, if you made a mistake, the calculator will give the wrong one. So that's our answer here. And that's a mistake I want to share with you. Hope this video is helpful. You can continue working on the exit ticket. And also you can always review the old videos I share with you. Good luck, everyone.